God damn it. Welcome to the second ever episode of the Geekday podcast. I'm Robert.
I'm Alex.
And hey guys, welcome back. We got a bunch of really cool things to start talking about today. There was a lot that happened in the past 2 weeks while we were gone.
Definitely.
And
I also hope the mics work because
they definitely do.
We didn't do a mic check.
I definitely checked before.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I definitely checked before when you're in the bathroom. No
Gotcha,
problem.
gotcha,
No
gotcha.
problem. But if you do, tell them it's Natalie. What's up, Nat?
That's
your jumping
Natalie?
butt. That's
Oh,
Natalie.
okay, cool.
But yeah, so before we jump into all that, Alex,
Get on
how's
the
your
fucking show, Natalie?
Jesus?
Oh, are we cursing on this show?
Every time we're like, wait, are we
Like, are we cursing?
Natalie, we need you here so you can watch us when we talk. But yeah, how was your past 2 weeks? We didn't do anything last week, so I mean,
Yeah, I think I had strep, and I think I had strep because I'm the type of person where things happen, and I go, this is gonna blow over. So I didn't go to the hospital or anything.
literally same. You're like, I
just-
could be like throwing up blood. I'm like, it'll pass.
Yeah, I just was like, I just need ibuprofen. I'm set. I've been good. I've been really excited about all the stuff that's been coming out. It feels like I was like, oh man, we have so much to talk about because it's been 2 weeks since the first episode, and then I went, no, just a bunch of shit happened this week. Yeah,
Dude, it was crazy. Like literally one thing after one thing. Because I mean, Star Wars Celebration was out.
Yes.
So I think that was the major thing that was really popping everything out. We do have a bunch of Star Wars stuff, but I actually saw two movies that we kind of talked about last time. I saw Shazam and I saw The Winter Soldier the past 2 weeks. Oh, sorry. Let me scoot over. Get a little closer to you, bud. Bring Batman in.
Batman's not even in the shot. I realized he's there for no fucking reason.
Sorry, Bruce. There you go.
There we go. Perfect.
There
Anyway,
you go.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, but go
No,
ahead.
You're good. You're good. I thought Shazam was decent.
You thought Shazam was decent.
Decent.
That's awesome. I'm glad to know that I'm sitting here with an idiot.
I mean, so I went in there because I mean, like usually when we used to talk about movies back in high school,
Yes.
we had very different opinions, but we
Yeah.
kind of still knew what was good in our sort of sense.
Yeah.
You know, and I really enjoyed it. I thought Zachary Levi, like I said before, I think he knocked it out of the park. Anytime that he was on screen, I loved the movie just that much more.
Okay.
The movie took forever to start to me.
Okay.
I think you told me like the first like 15 minutes or whatever, or
Yeah.
like it has that sort of. I
Did-
mean, it's
did
been
you-
2 weeks, so do you want to talk about it in detail, or do you want to?
You know what? Yeah, because if you haven't seen Shazam yet, it's been out for 2 weeks. You're not going to see it. No, this weekend will be the last weekend to see it before Endgame, right?
Yes. 'cause
Yeah. I think if you haven't seen it now, you don't give a shit enough.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly.
But yeah, no. How did you feel about that beginning part?
it was way too long. So
The
one
part in the car and all
yeah,
that?
in the car, yeah, with the 8-ball, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I mean, I understand you're setting up the villain for later, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And then it just kept going and going and
Mhm.
going and going, and I was just like, okay. I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, cool. And then even after he leaves the lair of Shazam,
Yeah.
it keeps going and going.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this is all your fault, blah blah blah. And then I didn't think it was. Yeah, I mean, you need the origin, but it just like kept beating me over the head like I'm the bad guy. And I like Mark Strong.
Yeah.
I think he did a really good job of like what he was given.
I just feel like the movie went like, oh, we need to set ourselves up for way too long.
Literally.
Because at a point I was like, is Zachary Levi gonna have enough screen time in this movie? Because we're like 20 minutes in, and he's not here.
Yeah. Which I don't think he got enough screen time on this movie.
Really, I thought it was perfect for me.
Really?
Personally. Oh, I just feel like if we would have got too much Zachary Levi,
There wouldn't have been
I
enough
would've
Billy
been-
Batson or.
not
like-
only that, I find Zachary Levi annoying.
Do you really?
I do. I think he's really annoying.
Oh, okay.
If you ever listen to him on a podcast, he doesn't let anyone talk, much
Okay.
like myself, so I hate him. No, but I just find him annoying.
Okay, I can see that because I mean, you listen to the Rusty podcast, and he's like, "Yeah, there's another story to tell," or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really liked him. I kind of the thing where I said before, where I was like, I feel like they're two different characters just from the trailer.
You still felt that in the movie?
I still felt that until I had a discussion with Dakota, and he's like, "Well, you have to realize that he turns into a superhero. Like, you got to realize what that does to a kid. Like, he's gonna be happier. He's gonna be cooler. Like, he's gonna be like."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can sort of understand.
It's kind of
that.
like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
when he puts on the mask, and all, like in the Tobey Maguire movies, he's a nerd. When he puts on the mask, he's quipping a little bit. He's like, you know, he feels more cool. So that made sense to me personally in that way.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of got over that grievance right there.
Mhm.
Kind of you said like, oh, the kids are great. Okay, well the kids aren't really that great, sort of thing.
Yeah.
The little sister, she's a child actor, so I'm just gonna be like, she's a child actor.
I loved her.
Did
I
you
thought
really?
She was so
She's
good.
like, I'm a good sister. Like,
See, I love that whole movie. For me, was so endearing. I loved it. It's my favorite DCEU movie since Man of Steel.
I like the story that it told.
Yeah.
That it's a family story. That it's like
Definitely.
you know, the thing that really, the one part that I was like, oh man, this is a really pretty good movie, is when Billy finds his mother, and that like
And the movie makes a choice there that I wasn't expecting.
like you thought like, oh, he's gonna go back to his family and he's gonna start a brand new life or whatever, but the mom's like, no, I left you there.
Well, what I thought was he was going to go to his mom and then realize that this wasn't his real family and I'm going to go home. And something like that kind of happened. But what happened is you found out like, oh, I didn't want you.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of didn't expect that.
They did the age thing that I didn't think that. So she was like, yeah, I was 17 when I had you. And I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when they first show you in the flashback where, you know, it's Billy and he's like, what, like 2 or 3 in there?
Yeah.
And like, she's like, yeah, I was 17. Like, I couldn't handle a kid. And I was like,
Yeah. And the cool kind of contrast of how he remembers it to how it actually was.
Yeah.
You know? But just so we don't ramble about it too long, because we have literally everything to get to. Overall, what would you like if you had to score it, you know, 0 or, you know, whatever out of 10?
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Really, 7 out of 10?
Yeah. So I mean, I think it was better. Obviously, like it's one of the best DC movies. I still think Wonder Woman is above it. I liked Wonder Woman a lot. So I would say Wonder Woman, Shazam, anything else. Like below.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a Flash movie. I'm sure I love the Flash movie. I like what's his name?
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller, yeah. And I didn't really like Batman vs Superman. Justice League was alright. It was pretty good. I mean, it was like Joss Whedon and Zack Schneider.
It was
a weird mix of like.
I took it as a dumb action movie, and if you take it as a dumb action movie, you're not going to be.
You're
disappointed.
gonna enjoy it, or whatever.
Yeah.
But let's jump into some really serious stuff that happened this past week.
Yes.
Avengers Endgame comes out this Thursday. Next Thursday, and there are already leaks going up on the internet. So agreed. Wonder Woman was a huge game changer. Absolutely, it was definitely a huge game changer. It's what I wish that Captain Marvel was.
I you know what?
You still haven't seen it?
I still haven't seen it, and I need to go see it.
Before
At this point,
Endgame.
I know everything that happens in that movie because I've just told people like, if I would have cared about it enough, I probably would have gone to see it already.
Yeah.
And it's just like it never fully interested me. And then the reviews came out, and what I got from the reviews was it was good.
Yeah, literally, I was like, that's all right.
Yeah, but that's what everyone said about Guardians 2.
I was gonna say Guardians 1, everyone loved.
And Doctor Strange and the first Ant-Man, and none of those movies are bad, but they're just like.
I think before we get into the news, I think after Endgame happens, we should all watch every Marvel movie, and then we should rank them.
I'm down.
Down? All right.
Down 110%.
There we go. That's
so.
Y'all are keeping us.
You want me to read this kind of?
Yeah, go ahead and read that out
real quick. Okay. So again, as Robert was mentioning, there was some serious news that came out regarding Avengers Endgame. Again, that's coming out not this upcoming weekend, but screening starting next Thursday. So this is an excerpt from USA Today. The directors of Avengers Endgame are pleading with fans not to spoil the highly anticipated superhero film after pirated footage reportedly leaked online. A video clip that appears to have been recorded during a film screening by someone who likely, quote, had clearance to view the footage, started circulating across social media, according to CNBC, just days ahead of the film's April 26th release date. The outlet described the footage as extremely spoiler-heavy, and I'll just kind of paraphrase this last part, but essentially the directors took to Twitter and social media, and I'm sure you've seen it at this point.
Yeah, the hashtag don't spoil Endgame.
Yeah, don't spoil Endgame, and like Thanos still demands your silence and all that. And again, that was from USA Today. So did you hear about that at all, Robert?
So I heard about it when like literally I was getting out of one of my classes in the morning, and one of our friends we talk about in here a lot, Dakota.
Terrible person.
He immediately texted me and he goes, "I just saw spoilers for Endgame. mute everything right now. So me and Tyler both literally.
Oh, he saw them.
He watched
Ooh.
it, and like that's the thing with him. He's super excited for this movie that he was like looking at like stuff that he thought that was kind of like
trailers or
not necessarily trailers, but more of like they were trying to guess the plot. Like they're like, oh, this is what I think.
Like that's fan speculation,
like
and
theories
all that.
and stuff like that. That's the word I was looking for. But he started watching it, and then he saw what happened. And he was when I went to go see Winter Soldier at his house the other day. He was like, "Yeah, it was pretty major. It was a big thing, but like, he's like, it's not gonna ruin the movie for me. I know when I see it, I'm still gonna enjoy it and stuff like that." Which I'm like, dude, you're a stronger person than me, 'cause I would have like flipped out so hard. I hate spoilers so much.
I had a very similar story. I was telling you. I was on Instagram. And I follow a bunch of comic pages.
Yeah.
And one of them's like a comic news outlet. And I'm just scrolling through, and then I see a video. And on Instagram, the videos don't start immediately. You kind of got to stop on it for a second. And I was like, oh, this looks like footage I haven't seen. Maybe it's a new trailer or whatever. So I stopped, and I looked, and there's a character doing something. And I went, wait. And then I realized this was clearly pirated footage.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I shouldn't see this. And the clip finished, and I went, oh, and as I'm finishing watching this clip, my brother Willie messages me, and it pops up on my phone at the top. It goes, dude, apparently there are big spoilers for Endgame floating around out there. And I went, too late. Too late.
Already watched it.
Yeah, so I saw some stuff too, but I think like Dakota, like it was stuff that was I think it was major, but I don't think it was anything like that I think is going to ruin my viewing experience.
Okay.
And also, I saw, even though it's something that could be major potentially, I saw 20 seconds out of a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that I'm going to be okay.
I don't know. I literally, so once it becomes to like anything that I really care about, Game of Thrones, Avengers, anything like that, I immediately mute anything that's when I get like 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Because that's when everyone starts doing the early screenings. That's when like people like Mark Ruffalo are like, yikes, I accidentally left something out, or said something or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you want to stay the hell away from literally anything that's on the internet.
Definitely.
So I'm lucky that I didn't get to see any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, if you're going out there actively trying to spread that stuff, I don't want to say you're a fake fan, but I'm sure you're super excited and you want people to see it and stuff like that. Or like, ooh, I saw it first or whatever.
Yeah.
But don't do that, man. I mean, like, really, I mean, that just ruins it for literally anyone else that really enjoys this stuff.
We're not saying you're a fake fan. We're saying that you're garbage.
You're a garbage person.
And your mom doesn't love you, and no one ever loved you. And the only way that you can feel anything is by dragging everybody else down with you.
Amen.
So you should go to your gun cabinet. No, I'm kidding.
Jesus.
Should go to your gun cabinet, move it out of the way, find your window, jump out of it.
There you go.
Into a bed of nails. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, my God.
Robert's like, all these twists and turns.
I know. Wow, it's Game of Thrones over here.
But, yeah, no, so it's really crappy that's something that's
I don't know. I'm ready. Like, my body is physically ready for Avengers.
Take me, Endgame.
Literally, I'm ready. I'm so excited for Endgame. When it comes to, like, around this time, I start trying to forget, like, that the movie is coming. That's what I did for Game of Thrones. I was like, all right, I know Game of Thrones is coming within this month. I'm just going to start forgetting. Like, I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to watch anything or whatever. And just like that, it was last Sunday, and I saw the first episode, and I was like, all right, I'm here for it. I just, if I keep psyching myself out, it's going to take, like Christmas. Like, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, okay, Christmas is in, like, 3 days. If I don't think about it, it'll be here, like, before I know it. And then that day before, you're like, oh, Christmas is tomorrow, bro. Like,
and that's why it's always hardest to go to sleep.
Yep.
It's always the longest night. It's always the night mom and dad talk about divorce the most. And,
exactly.
And how they don't love each other and how it's all a show for the kids. And just...
Hashtag stay together for the kids.
What were you talking?
I don't know, but I want to thank Baby Bubbles for following over here. Thank you very much. Appreciate
love
that.
Me, Dad.
God.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? Where were you going?
Here I am being nice, thing like, hey man, thanks for following. Appreciate
like,
that.
Love
and you're
me,
like,
Dad.
love me, please.
But you know what, Robert? You mentioned Game of Thrones.
I did.
Which was another story that we wanted to hit on briefly.
Yeah, very
'Cause-
briefly.
Yeah, because I'm not a Game of Thrones watcher.
A watcher.
Yeah.
And I am a Game of Thrones watcher.
Some would say a watcher. Yeah, and so what was your what you want to talk about? I know we wanted to mention it.
So it has been 2 years since last season came out. I don't know if you've seen literally.
Jesus Christ!
It's been a while.
I saw. Can I tell you what I've seen in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just so we're
You're not
clear,
gonna spoil anything for me.
if you're watching this and you haven't seen, I'm assuming the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones, I'm potentially going to spoil something completely out of context because I don't even know what I saw.
It's like, I saw a dragon.
I
Alright.
saw people having sex.
Absolutely.
There was a dude without a penis.
Okay.
I think he
Yeah.
didn't have a penis.
He didn't have a penis or ball. Well, there's 2 characters without penises, and there's a
Okay.
whole army without penises.
Hold up, what's watching?
Dakota,
Are you guys not the two who are watching bootleg versions of Age of Ultron on your phone in school literally the day before the movie? Did I watch that?
That was me.
I was about to say that. I
No.
know that wasn't me. That was him.
We had a fight about that.
Yeah.
We were talking about before the show got on, but they should call me out, Dakota. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that definitely wasn't me,
No,
Dakota.
it was
I
me.
was telling Robert this story before
And then
we
it changed
started.
to Russian for some fucking reason.
Damn.
I was
Halfway through.
so upset.
It's the event. Ooh, did you stop it? Okay, but no, Dakota. In high school, Willie showed me a website where I could watch a bootleg version of whatever Transformer movie was out at the time, and I watched it, and I felt really bad about it. Oh yeah, because Robert was a piece of garbage.
Yeah. It was so good.
But so I watched a bootleg version of Transformers online, and then I bought a ticket to go see it at a local theater, and I didn't go because I was like, I got to give my money to the theater.
To the art.
Yeah, to the art. Anyway, but what I was gonna say about what I have seen in Game of Thrones.
So interesting. I was like, "Sweet mother of God, stop."
Dakota, or you know what? I can't ask you over stream.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
don't ask over stream.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I saw the same exact thing you
Yeah.
saw, Dakota. Anyway, but what I have seen in Game of Thrones is a lot of sex, dude without a penis, these 2 people that were having sex with each other, and then I guess they were related.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then there was
There's 3 characters out of penis.
there was a
that was-
dragon.
Okay.
There was a hand cut off.
Okay.
There was a dude with a taser looking face.
Yeah. Taser
Like
face.
taser face.
Yeah.
There was that guy. There was
So you've seen some from the first episode and from the latest season.
okay, I guess
Is what,
so.
what I'm hearing.
Oh, there was a kid in a window,
And he gets pushed
and
out.
he was pushed out of the window,
episode 1.
and then there was sex.
Basically Game of Thrones in a nutshell. Absolutely.
But yeah, that's what I remember: sex, dragons, throwing kids out windows, and dudes without penises.
Absolutely.
I remember this one part 'cause I thought it was so badass. This dude gets kicked in the balls, or what should be, I'm assuming, his balls,
Yeah.
and he doesn't react.
Yeah, and then he beats the shit out of the other guy.
Yeah, and
That's
I
from
was
season 7.
I was so excited. I was like, yes, and yes,
incest. Lots and lots of incest. Absolutely.
definitely a lot of incest. You'd know all about that, Dakota. Anyway, let's. No, I'm kidding.
So yeah, let me drop a little bit of like
Go
what
ahead.
happened.
Go
So
ahead.
like I said, it's been 2 years since the last season came out. These things have massive budgets. They do like what Avengers does. They film multiple different scenes, multiple endings to throw off anything. It's a huge franchise, and I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do after this thing goes. But
Isn't it like Walking Dead where it's like a book or a comic or something?
yeah, it's based off a book by George
Okay.
R. Well, it's based off a book series by George R. Martin. But at this point right here, the show has passed the books.
Okay.
These books started in 1998, so I
Okay.
wasn't even born yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Youngin.
Youngin.
I was. I remember those days.
I was
back.
but a wee lad.
I was but a wee lass. Back being 2. Go ahead.
And so this is the epic conclusion of what's happening. So basically, to give you a basic like layout of what the show is, it's a bunch of people fighting over an Iron Throne, and then while they're fighting over an Iron Throne, there is a whole undead army coming for them.
Why are they fighting over an Iron Throne?
Well, they want to be in charge. That's it. There's a bunch of killing, so people kill each other's family members, and they get angry, so they want to be on the Iron Throne. And then there's a family that everyone's gonna die. Literally, everyone's gonna die.
But do they realize there are more precious metals than iron,
I hate you.
and also some that are lighter, like gold? I'm just saying, an Iron Throne in the grand scheme of things. If this was Pawn Stars, Rick would be like, "I can give you $50,
God
and
damn it.
and I'm taking a risk. It's
Well,
gonna
the
sit in
Iron
my shop
Throne-
for a year."
The Iron Throne is made of 1,000 swords. Does that make it cooler? Does that make it cooler?
We can also make swords out of silver.
But
a
but
finer
the, but
metal.
the, but the but the swords were forged by Dragonfire. So like literally, so it's this one king was like, I'm tired of this shit.
So
give me all your swords.
I'm sorry, I know I'm getting off track, but I don't watch it. So we used Dragonfire to forge iron? Why?
So
that's the dumbest
it's
shit.
It's not forging iron. So like the swords were already fucking made, right?
That's like going, I'm going out to drink. Give me Bud Light. You don't do that. You don't drink garbage.
It's a bunch
you don't
of
drink
swords
water.
For all the people that rebelled against the king, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm making this thing so me and my family for the rest of your lives can know the deeds he did and how bad we can mess you up." And he like burns all the swords together to make one big chair. Anyways, this is besides the point. We're talking about so the latest episode that came out. Everyone was expecting that it needs to be a lot bigger because there's only 6 episodes in this last season. So the first 2 episodes are an hour long, and then the last couple episodes are going to be 80 minutes long. You sound like someone playing Minecraft. Respect Game of Thrones, Alex. Dakota didn't watch all of it until like 2 months ago, so don't worry about it.
Oh, shut up, you fake fan, bitch. What are we doing? Sorry, go ahead.
And so this last episode was actually just a bunch of filler. Hey, chill.
A bunch of filler.
A bunch of fillers. I mean, like, it's that really cool thing that things that happen in, like, Avengers that take, like, 5 minutes. Like, it's like, oh, hey, I've heard of you. All right, cool, we're friends now. But, like, it was like, it's one character, Jon Snow, hasn't seen his family since season 1. So, like, there's a meeting. He sees all of his family. He meets them. He realizes his brother's a freak. His sister's a bitch. And then his other sister is an actual, like, assassin. And then all this stuff is going down. And it really everyone was like that it wasn't everything that happened in the episode could have been condensed to about 30 minutes. I think that's what everyone was really saying. That there's only 6 episodes left. We need to hurry this thing up. Like you still need to kill the main 2 bad guys. There's 2 main bad guys. There's Cersei and then there's the Night King. Night King is charged undead army. Cersei's just a bitch on the throne.
Okay.
And so like everyone was like, this episode's really good. Like, don't get me wrong, but it would have been really good in like the last season when it was like, hey, like we understand everyone needs to meet really, really quick. Throw it out the window. Be like, hey, cool. Hey, nice seeing you. Hey, cool. Nice seeing you too. There's a war to fight. There's 2 wars to fight right now. Let's get it on. Like, these are supposed to be really action-packed episodes that are supposed to be coming in, and everyone was. I really liked it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just wish that there was more episodes that we could dedicate to more stuff that's on screen like that.
Okay. Can I tell you my takeaway from everything you just said?
Absolutely.
Why is it? I was a little
disappointed, didn't you?
Who the hell is that? Do you know who that is?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just didn't know if it was somebody we knew. Here's my thing. Again, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I'm not a Game of Thrones person, sad face. But what I took away from everything you just said is all y'all Game of Thrones bitches got punked because
hi, Nicole.
I don't know who Nicole is.
Yeah, I don't think you know Nicole's.
Anyway, all you Game of Thrones bitches got punked because y'all all went, you know what? It's bullshit. Nothing ever happens in The Walking Dead. It's too slow. Nobody ever meets. I'm going to go watch Game of Thrones, where it's too slow. Nobody ever meets. And it takes forever to get a fucking plot line across.
I just think there's too many plot lines right now.
Like Walking Dead.
That it's going to be really shocking if they knock every single one of it. They have another show coming out that's going to be a prequel. So we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be thousands of years before the story.
That's fine. Just like
just make it good, bro.
Just like Fear the Walking Dead is a spin-off show. Everybody went, oh, that's bullshit. But again, y'all got punked. Y'all are falling for the same shit. Except instead of zombies, it's dragons and tits.
All right, let's move on. So, out of this week, I don't know how to transition from that.
Speaking of tits,
this past
Carrie
week,
Fisher is dead,
oh
and
my God.
also the
Star Wars Celebration was
Star Wars Celebration happened. I can see Robert regretting
every choice I've ever made.
I can see Robert regretting with every bit of him. Why did I ask Alex?
Why did I ask Alex to do this? No. Yeah. So Star Wars Celebration was this past weekend, and there was a bunch of Star Wars news coming out.
Yes.
we're gonna talk about which one do you want to talk about first? We have three different things that I can think about that came out from there.
I can think of the one that's important. What were the other two?
So there's the Rise of Skywalker trailer.
Yes.
Then there's the Star Wars Fallen Order trailer, the video game.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the last one is the Mandalorian.
I don't care.
I'm disgusted.
Don't care. That's the one that don't tell me. The director is what's his damn name? It's Iron Man dude, right?
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
I couldn't remember the director's name. But when that first came out about the Mandalorian, I was really excited about it. But it was never anything where
it caught your interest.
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, it's going to be on the streaming service, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be on Disney Plus. It comes out
like exclusively
on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be Disney Plus, and it's going to come out November 2nd as soon as the first day it launches. But there's also going to be another show that D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, the showrunners for Game of Thrones, are doing on HBO.
Yeah.
So, but that's besides the point. We didn't get any information about that. But I'm actually really excited for. At first I was like interested about it. I was like, okay, the Mandalorian sounds interesting, but there was released footage.
Okay.
From the Mandalorian stuff,
yeah.
And it's a series. I didn't take it as seriously as I probably would be for Avengers. Dude, it looks good. So let's talk about Rise of Skywalker first because I feel like.
Well, hold up, because I want to hit on this Mandalorian thing since we're already on it.
Okay, well, because like my stuff for Mandalorian, why I like it so much, has to do with Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay. You know what?
So
Then we'll start with Rise of Skywalker. You want to throw up that trailer, buddy?
Throw that trailer
while I'm doing this. So I guess we'll talk about the Rise of Skywalker trailer was unveiled just this past weekend at Star Wars Celebration, and it was obviously unveiled the title of the new Star Wars movie. There's been speculation about it for months. I'm trying to think. What did I guess that was really it. There was nothing more in my write-up about it. But I guess we'll have this running in the background and everything. So, Robert, how many times have you watched this trailer?
I've watched it twice.
You've watched it twice. Yeah, I've watched it twice as well. First off, get the mouse off the screen.
Oh, sorry.
People that are watching it.
Sorry.
So, what did you get out of the trailer? Like, did it make you excited? Are you still kind of? I mean, how did you feel about The Last Jedi? I don't think you liked it.
Can I give you just a one sound of what I like when I just watched this? Just ready?
Hold up. Robert's reaction to the new Star Wars Episode 9 Rise of Skywalker trailer. Go ahead.
That was my reaction to when I watched it, which is super sad.
Can I quote you on that?
Absolutely. You gonna write an article about it? Yeah, just.
In the article, it won't even be written out. It'll just be a sound bite. No, it'll be a sound bite, and you have to click it. Anyway, go ahead.
I love Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I have the collector's edition VHSs that came out for the original trilogy. I am a huge fan of the series, and The Last Jedi left such a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
That I cannot care about this movie. Not that I cannot care, because it's like, obviously it's Star Wars. I'm going to be there opening night. I'm going to see it. I'm going to support the movie no matter what. But it sucks that I when I watched it, I was just like, okay. I mean, The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson did something to me that was just so, I don't want to say disrespectful because it wasn't disrespectful, but it was so off-brand of what J.J. Abrams did in the first one that I really liked The Force Awakens. We all want evil Rey. We don't want evil Rey. No. I don't want evil Rey.
You think you want evil Rey.
But until they make evil Rey, and you're like, I don't want evil Rey. But yeah, I mean, like, I enjoyed Force Awakens.
Remember when
we
wanted Rey to be trained by Luke?
And then she did.
You start over.
Yeah, start over.
But it didn't.
Yeah, there we go.
Get that mouse.
I'm sorry. Sorry, it's my first day. I liked Force Awakens a lot. Yeah, people really nailed it on the head for being too like a New Hope and what's it called? Oh my God. A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. It has a Death Star. It has XYZ or whatever. But I think that was really necessary to bring in a new crowd. You see, bring in the new faces of, like, you see Rey, you see Finn, you see Poe. You have all these new. I want Rey as Sith Master. I don't. That I don't know, that the story's supposed to be about. I was hoping that the first and second half, well, the first movie and the first part of the second movie were going to get rid of the original characters, and they were going to pave a way for these new characters to really shine some light on the series. But I honestly, we never got that. This is still, as you can tell, a Skywalker story, and I think 6 movies of Skywalker is enough. I mean, I don't think we needed. I don't think we need the Rise of Skywalker, which I have theories of what the Rise of Skywalker is. But you know, whatever. What did you think of the trailer?
Yeah. So I thought long and hard about this because I had an initial reaction, and then I went, "Is that really how you feel, Alex?" And I had to think about it a bit more, and I realized that's not how I felt. I felt more strongly. I think that from what I've seen in this trailer, and if the story is going to be similar in what it's going to provide to what the trailer kind of shows us, is I don't care. I think it's lazy. I think it's bullshit. It's been bullshit since the first one. But you know what? To be fair, when the first one came out, you know, The Force Awakens, I was super excited about it. There was a lot of nostalgia and a lot of like, you know, like, oh, it's back, so we're gonna kind of draw you in with the stuff you love from the originals.
Yeah.
And I get that. That's fine. I'm totally behind that. What I didn't like is they went, but now we're gonna get you to stay doing the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Rian Johnson, I think, tried to do something different when he tried to switch it up, but I think it was different, not in a good way. It was just like he was just doing shit.
Different.
Yeah, he was just like he never went, let's do something different and make it make sense in the lore. He's like, let's just do different. And
Space Leia.
Exactly. But from what I saw with this trailer is Lando's back, and that would be cool to see Lando, but it looks like he's going to play a significant part in the movie.
Yeah.
We're seeing Carrie Fisher again. Obviously, I think she's got to be in the movie in some way because she's got to have a send-off because, unfortunately, she passed before we could, you know, get into the current movie. But it just seems like it's the same shit. It's like, oh, Lando. Oh, the Death Star. Oh, the lightsaber that was destroyed in the last movie. We're going to bring it back. Oh, look. Exciting set piece. More fucking sand. Like, there's nothing new about it. It's all the same shit that I feel like I've seen from every other Star Wars movie. I know people give the prequels a lot of shit, but at least
I enjoy the prequels more than I enjoy these movies.
I do too, and I think the prequels, at least, like they were trying to give us new visuals, new places to go, new things to see, and there's nothing new about this.
It was a new Skywalker. I mean, it's a new Skywalker story.
Yeah,
which I don't mind. But it was told in such a different light than the originals. That's like it's like you can tell that there's 2 drastically different, I guess, visions for it. You know, like you can tell like the darkness of the original trilogy, and this is way more light. And this one tries. I think the new trilogy tries to balance both of them, but just does it so bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that I have faith in J.J. Abrams because I do like J.J. Abrams a lot. I think he did a really good job with the first one, bringing like, hey. This is a movie. It's going to be very similar to the originals. And then Rian Johnson came in and said, fuck what you did. I'm going to make my own story. Everything that you set up, I'm just going to ignore it. And then J.J. Abrams said, oh, yikes. I have to come back and fix this because the other director dropped out. Okay, cool. Let me come back. I'm retconning everything. It's like, oh, like literally like the one thing that I saw on the internet that I was like, the whole thing about the last movie, The Last Jedi.
Did these screens switch?
Yeah, I changed it.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck?
The whole thing with The Last Jedi was let the past die.
Yeah.
Let the past die. That's the really big thing that Rian Johnson was trying to nail it in. Like, I'm going to destroy Kylo Ren's helmet. I'm going to destroy Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. I'm going to do all these different things to make sure that the next movie is going to be something completely different. Yeah. And J.J. Abrams said, nah, fam. I'm rebuilding your helmet. You see it in the trailer. I'm rebuilding the lightsaber, which you see in this one right here. And I think if this was J.J. Abrams' trilogy, it would have been so much better. I think it would have been a really good trilogy.
The thing we didn't talk about was the laugh in the trailer.
Oh yeah, the Emperor's laugh.
The Emperor's laugh. Yeah.
And
that's again one of those things where like they kind of went like, how do we fix this? Oh, nostalgia Band-Aid. Like, I don't see. Personally, I don't see the interest in it. I think everyone who's heavily invested in this is, what is it? It has rose-tinted glasses from the original trilogy, and they're seeing aspects of that in this new trilogy, and they're like, "Oh, I really like it." But that's heavily
you can't give these movies so much credit because of the predecessors.
Exactly.
You definitely can't do that. And like I said, I'm still gonna watch this movie. I'm probably still gonna have a strong opinion. It cannot. I do not think it can be worse than The Last Jedi. I definitely do not think it can be worse than The Last Jedi. I think J.J. Abrams has a stronger vision. I mean, he did Star Trek before.
But that too, though, man. Like Star Trek, the first new Star Trek movie,
it's the exact same.
All nostalgia.
Yeah.
All nostalgia. The second one, he literally just did Wrath of Khan.
But switched
exactly.
Yeah.
And then Beyond, he went like, what do I do? I'm just gonna make a Star Trek episode. Like,
but that wasn't J.J. Abrams. That was Justin Lee.
Yeah, but he had input on the story and everything.
Did he
before
really?
Dropped out. At least that was my understanding.
Okay. I thought it was just Justin Lee all the way.
Yeah, well,
because
I mean, I could be wrong.
Drastic that
it was my understanding that he came out of Into Darkness and kind of went like, "Here's what I'm thinking for the next one," and then the next director took it over.
All right, Dakota says Star Wars is doing so much wrong since The Last Jedi. Marvel hasn't even shown 5 minutes worth of actual footage with zero to little actual information given, and they've already broken multiple records. I still think this movie's gonna break records. This movie's definitely gonna break record selling no matter what. It's a Star Wars movie. I don't think it's gonna break Endgame because Endgame already broke massive records, and it's gonna continue to break massive records.
I think the best way I can attest this the best way I can describe this new Star Wars trilogy is like the Jonas Brothers comeback.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They released a new, what was it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. But the Jonas Brothers came back recently.
Absolutely.
Everybody was so excited. They let out more music right after that. Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. So the first Star Wars film came out. It was the biggest movie at the time, like ever. Everybody was so excited about it. The second one came out, and it was still really big. I think it ruined all of its goodwill that it had from its fans. Because you know how long it took the fans to build up that goodwill after most people didn't like the prequel trilogy, you know?
Well, yeah.
And then we ruined it with that one, and then now we're going into this one. And then also I think everybody was soured by Solo, which I don't get because I really like Solo. I did.
I enjoy Solo.
The majority of people did not.
Not tonight, yeah.
Yeah. And the same thing with Rogue One. But
which I liked Rogue One. I think it was pretty slow. Slow at some parts, but I think it really shone at the Battle of Scarif.
I liked it better than Solo, personally.
Did you really?
Yeah, I enjoyed Rogue One a lot better than Solo.
I have to rewatch it to get my actual opinion. I think so. But I remember really enjoying Solo. I was like, I don't understand why people don't like this movie so much. But anyway, so to go from The Rise of Skywalker, I want to transition to something that I guess that a lot of people didn't really think of, but it was the Fallen Order trailer. Fallen Order Star Wars trailer.
The game trailer.
The game trailer, yeah. It's going to be made by Respawn, who right now is in charge of let me bring this volume down so I don't blow anyone's ears out.
You can blow my ears out whenever you want.
Heard that. It's doing by Respawn, so they did Titanfall 1 and 2, and then they did Apex Legends right now.
Okay.
So this trailer came in the day after The Rise of Skywalker. So I saw The Rise of Skywalker trailer, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to think of this.
Yeah.
And then I watched this trailer right here, and I was like, this is a Star Wars story. I don't know if you saw my tweet about it.
No, not at all.
I immediately tweeted about it as soon as I saw it in the morning, and I was like, this is an absolute Star Wars story. So if you watch it, I'm playing without the sound right now.
Yeah.
But it follows right after Episode 3.
Yeah.
Order 66 has already been done. Jedi have been wiped out. So this guy right here, he's a Jedi Padawan. And he's undercover. He's breaking down these Imperial cruisers and stuff like that. And you'll see right here that he accidentally shows his powers.
Okay.
And so from then on, the entire trailer just shows him running away from running away from the Empire. See him right here. Like right here it says, "Don't reach in," and then boom. So he reaches in, he saves them, and then everyone's after him.
Yeah.
I would love to see this. I'm gonna buy this game.
Okay.
I know EA still has the license for this. It is an EA Respawn game.
Yeah.
But they're saying it's a solo player adventure game, no microtransactions. You're gonna get everything day one. Like they're promising that. They put that as they quoted the tweet when this came out. There's gonna be no but take it with a grain of salt. It's EA, you know. but I love the story so much. Like
Yeah.
this is a Star Wars story that is not a Skywalker story, and that's
Yeah.
that's the thing that I was telling you about, where I was like, to me it was a tale of two trailers when this came out.
Mhm.
It was yikes to holy crap. Like this trailer gave me chills.
Yeah.
Like if this was gonna be a movie, I would probably see it 5 times.
Yeah.
Because it's such an enthralling story about, betrayal. He's like, that's his lightsaber right there.
Yeah.
It's all messed up. It's betrayal. It's hiding. It's just like, it's so much that I wish that I could get out of a Star Wars movie or Star Wars TV show right now. But I don't know. Did you ever see this before?
Yeah. I'd watched it before, and my thing is it's hard for me to trust EA.
Okay.
And I think that's just gonna come with whatever EA is gonna put out at this point.
Definitely.
But because not even a year ago, EA was talking about how they didn't see the value in single-player Star Wars games. So obviously, since the other games have come out and everyone's been clamoring for it, a big thing that comes up to me first is, was this like a Hail Mary thing where they went, oh, we have to do this now? You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Like, because it's very easy, because it looks really good.
Uh-huh.
And it would be very, because EA does all the time, to just churn out something, and make it a pretty looking hollow experience. EA's great at doing that. So that's the thing that bothers me. I mean, I'm interested in it, but this is not a game where, as of right now, it's on my radar of things that I want to see.
Okay.
Or things that I want to play. And again, that's just because I have no faith in EA. Me and Willie, when Battlefront came out, the first new one, we got it, and we're so excited about it. We played it for a little bit, and we're like, oh, this is great. And then again, it's one of those things where it looks absolutely amazing, and it's so shallow,
There's the beta. I remember playing the beta for it, and I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I'm going to buy it.
And you can feel that that's it.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't feel like the original Battlefront.
Yeah.
And I love Battlefront 2. But that was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 2. But I don't know. I'm really interested in this game. The one thing that does kind of scare me is that it's being done by Respawn, a fantastic company, but Respawn has only done first-person shooters.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing is, like, they're saying that they're taking a completely different approach of a completely different team working on a third-person brawlers type of game.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard so far, because I've been listening to a lot about this, because this game, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I want to play another really good Star Wars game.
Yeah.
That they're saying that's probably going to be more like Dark Souls. So it's going to be very interesting, so you can feel the weight of your attacks. Rather than
that makes me less excited.
Really?
How many developers and publishers?
It's not going to be as hard as Dark Souls.
No, not that. But how many people try to describe their games as
like
Dark Souls?
Okay.
So like, to me, that holds no weight.
Okay.
If anything, now I'm more worried, because to me that sounds like, what's a stock thing we can say? This one? Perfect. Let's say this. New graphical engine. Let's do this. Popular developer that's never done this before. Yeah, like Rocksteady. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Like, it doesn't mean it's gonna work. So I don't know. That just, all those things worry me more than make me excited personally.
So when I'm saying I mean more combat wise, that it's gonna be like, it's gonna be more of like parries. It's gonna be more of like, you're gonna have to think about it. There's not gonna be as many bosses as like Dark Souls. It's like, hey, you're gonna fight through all this to get to the next boss, boss. This is just gonna be like the combat style of like, you have to think about everything you do, because bless you.
Thank you.
Because you're a Padawan who doesn't have a lot of training and stuff like that. I guess they kind of wanted to really change it from the what's it called, the Force Unleashed combat. Did you play Force Unleashed?
I love Force Unleashed.
Yeah. So I mean, how it was really hack and slash, and like
definitely.
It got really repetitive.
It
after
was
a while.
great. They did not have nearly enough enemy variation and enough, I guess, set location either.
I know they went to like Mustafar, and they went to, oh god, what's the name of the?
But it wasn't just not necessarily just the locations, but how they were laid out.
Yeah.
Everything was like a corridor, like, so you just kind of went through and force pushed the shit out of everything. So, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed. I never played the second one.
Dude, I heard it was really bad.
I heard it was just more of the same thing. And
really?
Yeah, and I'm also a big Assassin's Creed hater for the same shit as we talked about last episode.
I love Assassin's Creed.
But
So
anyway,
that's another thing we disagree on. Okay, but the last thing from that came out of the Star Wars Celebration this past week
Oh,
was The Mandalorian.
Okay.
And I know we kind of talked about it a bit. My thing is, when I was saying that, like, my what I like about The Mandalorian has to do with the Rise of Skywalker. Same thing with the trailers. They didn't get to see a lot of. There's the one like 7-minute clip that they showed, but that no one else saw. But it's on the internet. If you want to go look at it to just like peer at it, see what it's about. It looks fantastic to me. Like, it looks like something that, again, another Star Wars story in the world of Star Wars that is not a Skywalker story, but it also is super grounded. It's not a story that is very you're gonna have to save the universe.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. I like very small stakes movies.
Definitely.
Where it's like, that's when you get very personal. Because once it's like,
because it becomes more about character than it does about just like this grand epic thing.
Yeah, it's like, like if you don't stop the Death Star, the entire galaxy's ruined. It's like, okay, well, I mean, that's really grandiose, cool. But if it's like this one right here, it shows him accepting a contract. Doesn't say really what the contract is. I'm gonna go in a little bit of detail about it if you don't mind me. But so, in the trailer, it talks about in the clip, it shows him meeting I guess I don't want to say a contractor, but someone that put out the contract for a job to be done.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian's just looking for money, so he goes out there in his Mandalorian armor, and the guy's there is like, I have someone that I want you to get for me. Alive, preferably. If you got to kill him, do it. Whatever. He's like, I don't have anything else to give you. I have just his age. That's it. I have his age. Look for him. And he's like, what? He's like, if someone of your skill can do this, you're going to be absolutely loaded, and I know you can do it. And so, like, it's just, like, this really, like, everything that they did so far was super practical. Like, it looks like it's Mos Eisley, which is, the cantina or whatever on fucking Tatooine. But everything looks fantastic. It doesn't look CG. It doesn't have that shine of the J.J. Abrams movies or the darkness of the Rian Johnson movie. This just looks practical, which is from John Favreau. Like, that's what he really did with Iron Man 1. He made it really grounded. And that's what I really enjoyed about the little clip that I saw. I do think that to be able to get into it a lot more, I do think you need to look at the little clip. It's not a spoiler. There's nothing big that happens in there. It's just a little look into there. Yeah. And that's just what I'm looking at of the Star Wars franchise right now. It's just smaller stories in the Star Wars universe, and it doesn't have to be a Skywalker story.
Yeah.
I love the Skywalkers. I love Luke. I love Leia. Han's dead. Rest in peace, my dude. But just get over. I don't want to say get over it, but I mean, like, I think it's done. You've beat the dead horse. This is the third movie. They said that they're going on a hiatus after this last movie. They're going to stop for a while. Good. You need time before Rian Johnson's trilogy to come out, because you're just going to wear people out with these movies, man.
Yeah.
I think you can keep giving television shows. I think you can keep giving stuff like that. But I definitely think that you're just going to get hammered down by movies. I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, on that end, as far as the movies, the reason I don't agree with that is Marvel's been releasing 3 Marvel movies for, like, the last 5 years?
Yeah. Since the phases and stuff like that, yeah.
So, that's... I can see where the fatigue comes in is where it's the same thing.
Yeah.
We've had how many movies about Skywalker shit?
9 now.
Yeah. So how annoying would it be if we had 21 Marvel movies that were all about Robert Downey Jr.?
Very annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Okay.
But the fact that we can have different stories is what makes it
better,
more interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then that's kind of, I feel like, the approach they try to take with like Rogue One and Solo. They're like, oh, let's do supplemental content that kind of expands our universe. The problem with that is that every time they did that, it shrunk the universe.
I don't think they put enough effort into them, but...
Well, I think they put too much effort into shrinking the universe, because instead of going like, oh, let's go to a different planet and a different area, and let's look into other aspects of this universe, Let's instead tell a story that you think is different, but then ties directly into the main story.
Oh, okay.
You know, they did that with Solo and with Rogue One. So normally I don't like supplemental content. You know, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I get really annoyed with. But then also the things like the Marvel shows, the Netflix Marvel shows, they're supplemental content, but like they're expanding the universe in their own way.
You see Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, they're all in New York, right?
Yeah,
Occasional
yeah.
stuff,
Well, but
you see,
I like when supplemental content adds to the universe, not when it adds to the story. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
So I mean, like if I would have had to watch season 3 of Daredevil to understand where an Infinity Stone was, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Because I think that's stupid. So what I find really interesting about the Mandalorian thing, and I'll be honest, I wasn't super interested in it. It wasn't, because we talked about it earlier, it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I want to go check it out. Because again, normally supplemental content I don't care about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in some way it always ties into the story, or it always tries to tie up a loose end that I would have preferred just to remain loose. But from what you're describing to me, it does pique my interest just because I like that now it's about the universe.
Yeah.
Not about the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as here's the thing, though. He's looking for whoever, right?
Yeah.
This is what the whole show's about.
Yeah.
If at the end
See Luke Skywalker,
it ends out to be like, I'm looking for Luke Skywalker, I'm looking for Ben Kenobi, or I'm looking for Qui-Gon Jinn, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, that shit pisses me off.
Well, this happens right after Episode 3 also.
Okay.
Like a couple of years after Episode 3,
Yeah.
but like not enough to like have Luke be a full grown
Yeah.
adult. Like for them to know about Luke.
If he's looking for Uncle Owen, I'm gonna be pissed. if he's looking for the Tashi station, I'm gonna be pissed. If he's looking for power converters, I'm gonna be pissed.
Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru.
But I was gonna go down to the Tashi station to get power converters. But yeah, so I from what you've said, that definitely piques my interest more than anything I've seen. I haven't seen the clip, so I need to check out that clip.
Yeah, I'll
it
send it
sounds
to you
like.
afterwards.
But yeah.
Yeah. There's one more thing if you want to jump into it before we cut off, but there's the Xbox One S.
Yeah. Real quick though, I wanted to mention one more thing.
So,
Hellboy came out this past weekend, did shit at the box office, and Shazam's been performing better than it. And I knew Hellboy was gonna suck. I just want to put it out there. It looked terrible. It looked like shit. They had me excited for 3 seconds, but then I realized David Harbour is only good in Stranger Things. And then it came out, and the reviews were terrible, and it had 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. The first.
I thought it was 12%. That was 12%.
It was 9% originally.
Okay.
Jumped up a little bit.
Well, that 3%. That 3% means a lot to them.
They gave us some slack.
Don't you dare take that away from them. Less than 12 million opening weekend for Hellboy. Holy crap. That is disappointing.
Yep.
Dude.
Shazam did better than Hellboy in its second weekend than Hellboy did in its opening. And also, hold up, let me see.
All right, he's gonna look it up or what?
Yeah, no. There was a stat that I found.
Oh, you put it in the notes.
Quite amazing. Let me see where is right here. Okay. The store. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. In international territories, it went. Oh, also the review embargo didn't lift until like the night before it came out.
Why?
Which is always
that's stupid.
But it's always like the worst sign.
I guess that's probably. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say that's probably best for them to be like, hey, you can't talk shit about our bad movie, like. Yeah. Until like the day before.
Like, that's why I was really excited for Shazam. I enjoy movies where they release the embargo like a week before, because they're like,
or do early screenings like you did.
Look at my dick. You know what I mean? Like there's like, I know what I got. I'm excited about it. So anyway, they didn't release the review embargo until then. So in international territories, it debuted the same day as the U.S. Again, it had to release on the same day or it was gonna be shit, more shit than what it was. Internationally, it took around $10 million from 4 markets. In the UK, it opened just below the first Hellboy movie. So it opened below the first Hellboy movie in the UK.
That is sad.
Which was released back in 2004 when ticket prices were cheaper.
That is disappointing, dude. Oh, my God.
It came in less than the other one, and ticket prices used to be cheaper. So technically, the other one did a lot better.
That is so sad.
More people went to go see the original Hellboy than they did this new
one right here.
So
I saw the trailer for it and it looked decent. I mean, like I was like, oh, I mean,
did
like,
you?
yeah.
You thought it looked decent?
I was like, all right. It's like I said, it's one of those dumb action movies.
Yeah.
Like that's where like kind of like when you said GC, I was like, okay. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be like a super really. I'm sure it was gonna be good. Like it was gonna be like funny to watch.
Yeah. Here's the thing that tipped me off.
The thing.
I knew it was going to be bad.
What's the thing?
In the first trailer,
First trailer.
there's a part where Hellboy punches an elevator.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And obviously he's wearing a prosthetic for the arm.
Yeah.
Like Ron Perlman wore a prosthetic in the first movie. But it was good. It looked like it moved and like it was comfortable on Ron Perlman and all that.
Yeah.
David Harbour in those trailers, anytime he picks up his arm, he goes like this, like he has to lift, almost like, you know, like
yeah,
he's,
it's
like he's struggling. Exactly. And Hellboy should just be able to
lift
move
up his arm, yeah.
like, yeah. But like, so he always moved weirdly to me, and I was like, that looks stupid. It's gonna be bad. Like that's
that was the one thing that tipped you off. Oh my god.
Well, because my thing was, if they can't get him to move his fucking arm right,
Yeah.
like, what care when in the rest of the movie? The other thing that tipped me off, Robert, you know I'm a very avid cigar smoker.
Yes.
I enjoy my cigars. Hellboy and Wolverine are some of the few comic book characters that smoke cigars. You know? Not once in a Hellboy trailer for the new movie did I see him smoking a cigar. And in the original Guillermo del Toro Hellboy, he was always smoking a cigar. So I knew it was going to be bad. He couldn't lift up his arm. There was no cigar. That was it. The stamp of death was on the movie. So anyway, it was terrible. Nobody go watch it. Go watch Shazam again. It's really good.
Yeah, go see Shazam like twice. I think it deserves it.
Okay, Robert, so the last thing. Sorry.
But besides that, just recently, this week actually, Xbox did an Inside Xbox. They announced a bunch of new stuff. But I think the most important thing that came out of that was the Xbox One S all digital.
Yes.
So it's everything that's in an Xbox One S, which is the cheaper version of the Xbox One X. It has 4K HDR, and it has a price tag of $250. That is such a disappointment, dude.
Why is that a disappointment?
So to me, the Xbox One S all digital. Let's just call it the Xbox Digital. Xbox D. Let's call it Xbox D.
Xbox D.
Xbox D.
Xbox D.
What would you want to call it? What do you want to call it?
D-Box.
Okay.
No.
So the D-Box.
Oh, fuck you. Okay.
So
the digital Xbox.
The digital Xbox had such a potential to steal so many people away from Sony. I think.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, like it.
But the price point is.
The price point is at $250.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they said in the thing that it's always going to be at least $50 less than
the current market.
The current Xbox One S.
Disc Xbox.
Yeah. So if it's right now, I guess it's $300. I mean, that makes sense.
Well, no, in some markets it's $250 right now.
Is it really?
I was reading about that because outlets were asking Xbox like, well, hey, in some markets the Xbox, the regular one, disc Xbox, it's $250. So shouldn't that make this only $200 in this market? And Xbox very quickly came out and said, actually, we don't set the prices. The retailers set the prices. So they very quickly were like, not accepting responsibility for that.
This is our idea, but we're not going to follow it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like that inflate. It's gonna Xbox, please. I think if they had it, and I'm going to say some numbers here, and you're going to be like, that's crazy. I don't know why you would think that. If they put it down to $199 or $175.99. I definitely think that this thing would have taken off and it would have sold so much. It's not going to sell for, I think, until November. But it had such a potential to bring so many people in that love digital. I know both of us, we don't like digital.
Yeah, I prefer physical media.
I prefer a lot of physical stuff. But I definitely think that this could have been a huge thing. Like, because they also said that they're going to be giving out, like, I think, 3 months of Game Pass, I think I saw.
Yeah.
With it, and, like, that's all Game Pass
all
is.
the Sea of Thieves you want.
All the Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon 4, and what was the last one?
Yeah. Do you hate it when your hard copy of Sea of Thieves has trouble connecting to the internet? Well, get ready for the discless one.
I don't know. I think it could have been so much better if it didn't have a $250 price tag.
Okay.
If it shrunk down, I definitely think it would have sold. Like I said, it definitely would have sold a lot better. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you're an idiot on the pricing that you gave.
$200 or $175?
You said $199.
Yeah, $199
or $175.99.
Yeah.
In an actual market value retail store, it would be $174.99. So I hate to call you out like this.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, my thing is, it's very gimmicky to me.
Okay.
Is my thing, and I told you it's and I'm about to be a hypocrite because I said this last week or the first episode too when we talked about this. Because at the time it was all speculation.
Yeah.
It was all
We talked about it for a bit.
And I told you like I think it's a fad. I think it's like VR. It's gonna come and it's gonna go. Today actually was the first time I've ever played full VR, and I was like,
shit's cool.
that shit was pretty dull.
Yeah.
Not even gonna fucking lie to you.
I walked in and Willie, Alex's brother, was like, "We got VR," and I was like, "Did you?" And I was like, "I loved it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my point is that I think it's going to be very niche. I think
Niche.
it's going to be like the first iPhone, where it's going to come out. There's going to be not a myriad of issues, but I feel like there's going to be enough going on that they need to figure out to where I'd be willing to jump on second generation.
Okay.
And I just feel like, I mean, because it's not going on sale till the holiday season, obviously.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so many other things that people are going to want to invest in other than this Xbox when it's so close to the retail price of a different system.
Yeah.
Especially if you're an Xbox player and you have $250 to throw around.
Might as well just
get like a PlayStation 4 Pro. Like just
I mean, a Pro $499?
I don't know. We just got one. I
like
don't
a Blu-ray copy of the Endgame SWAT. Let me look that up real quick. Hold up.
What's up?
PS4 Pro price?
Yeah.
Because I think the PS4 Pro price is like it's about $500.
I mean, even if you get a regular PS4, like right there.
Oh, 400.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, just spring for like $50 and get a PlayStation 4. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We talked about it last week. I don't care about, not that I don't care. I don't see it personally. Like, I don't see the longevity of it. Just because, I don't know, like, because the whole thing is the discless Xbox. Why do I want that? Tell me. You sell me. Why do I want it?
You want it
because I don't need a disc and I can download games?
Yes.
Man, I can do that on that one. I can do that right there.
So my thing is, like, if it was cheaper, it would
make sense.
If it was $199, $199.99 or $175.99, that would have been like, oh, this is the affordable thing. Like, this is so I can get my kid, I can get him an Xbox with 3 games, 3 months of Game Pass, which has over 100 games on there. That's perfect. If you want to spring like a free controller in there too, I mean, it's gonna get a free controller, but I mean, like, if they knocked it even more down and just took the damages of the controller, that would have been perfect. Yeah. Like, it would have been so cheap. Like, 'cause that's what the extra.
And you would have killed Sony during the holiday season.
Definitely, it definitely would have been like, oh, people.
It's just the price point doesn't justify what it is.
$250 is to me, it's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it.
You can just get a regular. How much is a regular Xbox?
A regular Xbox is
regular Xbox One.
Regular Xbox One, not One X or anything like that.
Just regular Xbox One.
Xbox.
You put in S-Box.
Fuck. I got it. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Okay. Xbox One.
207,988.
Okay. Now, what about an Xbox like what is it? The One X.
Xbox One X is about. There you go. Xbox One X is $400.
Okay. To me, there's not. So I'm in sales. I'm in sales. That's what I do for my job.
Yep.
I'm in sales, and what I always find is there are certain things in my job that cost X amount, and then there are certain things that do different things, slightly better things than X. And to justify the cost of Y, I need to tell them why there's that big of a price gap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes sense to me when I can do that. Personally, again, trying to add that same logic to this, I don't see the value in that price gap. Like, why would I say, dude, get a discless Xbox? It's amazing. When you can buy a PlayStation or regular just Xbox One for cheaper than that.
Yeah.
You know, or if you're willing to spend that, just spend a little more and get the better one that has a disc drive. Because what happens when and also the market on this, I just feel like the market's shallow on this because how many people are going to buy this and realize they don't have the internet capabilities to download anything, or they're going to buy it and realize that and maybe they'll take it back, or they're going to get it and what happens when the internet goes out, or what happens if they're in an area where they have shit internet.
Yeah.
It's easier just to have a damn disc Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Man, I could just be old, but I don't see it. I don't like it. I hate it. I think
You
it's dumb.
whippersnappers and your thanks Dakota for following. Appreciate you. You whippersnappers
Oh,
and
cool.
your
You've only been here for the last 2 episodes. You little shit. You're welcome for the free content. Stupid motherfucker.
Hey, thanks for supporting us. But on that lovely note of attacking attacking Dakota, I think it's probably time for us to go, Alex. I think we talked about a lot of good stuff today. Actually, I made an account just today for y'all to comment. Hey, thanks, buddy. I love you, Alex.
So you made the account, stayed here for the hour, and then at the end of the hour subscribed. Is that what you're saying?
Hey,
That's what you're telling me.
Thank you.
That's what you're telling me.
Thank you, Dakota.
You know
thank you, Dakota.
what you can
Thank you,
do
Dakota. Thank you.
with your shit ass
Dakota,
subscription.
Dakota, thank you.
You can.
Thank you.
Who's saying no?
That's Ethan. I don't think I've ever met him.
Who's it's not?
No.
That's not Connor. Okay.
No. No, that is Connor. That is Connor.
Oh, is it?
Go another hour.
Oh,
let me see, Rob and Alex. I don't know. I mean, if you guys have anything you want for us to talk about, I mean, I'm open. I don't know.
I just sold your Endgame ticket for $3.4 million.
Jesus.
Oh, Dakota, maybe you can use your profit to buy yourself a personality.
God damn.
Other than I'm white and play guitar.
He also sings now.
Maybe you could. Cool. You can add mediocrity to your list. That's good job for you. I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're the one I said looked like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it looks like Connor
Also, Dakota, before you get too butthurt, I've heard your band. I think y'all are very talented. Before you get all upset about that. But yeah, no, definitely.
Do you have anything else that you want to talk about before we head off tonight?
Not really. And my big thing is I never want to force conversation.
Yeah.
You know, hey, thanks, bud. Well, you know what you can do with your thanks, Dakota? You can shove it up your stupid ass
I'm gonna mute his mic
and go back and work with your Lex Luthor father. And
I got. All right. Hey, thanks for watching.
Dakota's
guys.
like, why do you got to bring my dad into this? Okay, Dakota, your dad seems like a nice man.
Yeah.
He is bald, though.
Thank you for watching.
Shiny head.
Catch us next week.
Like a brand new car that just got detailed.
Catch us next weekend.
Like shiny, like
Thank you so much for dropping by.
like his head could be the sun in the Teletubbies.
If I'm
It's that
still
bright.
alive.
It's
All right.
man.
Bye.